So it's almost officially autumn, and as I look outside my window, all the leaves are falling and changing colour, and it just makes me feel so excited. And I thought it was only appropriate that I changed my makeup to reflect the changing season. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I created this makeup look, which is a very autumnal, classic berry burgundy colours, and yeah, it just makes me feel really excited for autumn. So if you want to see how I created this look, then keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to do, as usual, is apply my moisturizer, and I'm using the L'Oreal Skin Perfection Advanced Correcting Serum. I find that this serum has a nice iridescence to it, which looks very nice underneath foundation, and it feels lovely and smoothing and soft on the skin. Next, I'm going to be mixing two foundations, my trusty Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 3.5 and a brand new foundation, the Oxygenating Foundation from Oxygenetics. I think that's how you say the name of the brand. And this is in the shade Taupe. So this foundation is supposed to be a full coverage but breathable formula, which is good for problem skin, acne skin, or anyone that has any kind of concerns with their skin. And I'll leave all of details about this foundation below. I'll leave a link where you can read more about it, where you can buy it. But I have been very impressed with how light this foundation feels and looks on the skin, and it still gives full coverage. And as you can see, with just one pump of the Oxygenetics foundation, it looks pretty much flawless. The only reason why I'm mixing with my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is because the colour is a little bit too cool tone for me. So I have to add the Giorgio Armani to kind of neutralise the cool tones and make it more suitable for my skin tone. I've also been really enjoying taking my foundation up onto my under eye area to help correct any darkness and then apply the concealer. That's something new that I've never done before, but I've been finding that it's making a difference in how bright my under eyes look because it's corrected before it's concealed. Next, I'm using my good old faithful MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW20 to conceal the under eye area and also around my nose where I get some redness. And this is also going to bring some brightness into my face in the areas where I like to highlight and to have them looking brighter and more awake. And if you have this concealer, you know that you only need the tiniest amount. A little goes a very long way with this concealer, and it also sets very quickly. I like to first blend it with my finger to warm up the product, and then with a sponge to get rid of any kind of lines or anything that wasn't blended properly with my fingers. I'm also priming my eyelids with whatever is left of the concealer on the sponge. Next, I'm applying some powder, and I'm only powdering the under eye area and kind of the center of my face. I'm using the One Heck of a Blot powder from Soap & Glory in the shade Translucent, and this is a mattifying powder that can be used to set any cream products. It doesn't have any color to it, and I like to apply this with a sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques I think it's the Miracle Complexion sponge, and this is just going to make sure that the concealer doesn't crease and doesn't move throughout the day and stays looking flawless. Next, for bronzer and contour, I'm going to be using the Sleek Contouring and Blush palette, and this is the palette in the shade Light. And this just adds a lot of warmth to the skin. As you can see, one side looks very flat and one-dimensional, and the other side looks a lot more defined. For blush, I'm using MAC Peachy Keen, and it's just a nice warm rosy toned blush with a bit of shimmer, so it acts as a highlighter and a blush. I'm going with the highlighter from the Sleek Contouring and Blush palette and just putting it on the bridge of my nose and on the tops of my cheekbones. I'm only applying a little bit of highlighter because I associate a very highlighted skin with summer, and for autumn I like things to look a little bit more matte, but I still want that hint of a glow. Next, for eyebrows, I'm using a mixture of MAC Carbon and MAC Charcoal Brown. I find that when my hair is a little bit lighter, I need to mix the black with a brown shade so that it matches everything else a little bit nicer rather than just a plain black. When my hair was just one color, I found that the black suited me better, but now I find that I have to mix with the brown to get that warmth on the face. So now the brows are done, it's time to move on to the fun part, eyeshadow. I'm using the Urban Decay Ultimate Basics palette because it has a lot of nice burgundy shades, very autumnal shades. So starting with the shade Instinct, I'm putting that all over the lid. I'm then going with the shade called Lethal in the outer corner and the crease of my eye. Now I'm taking the same two shades, Instinct and Lethal, on my lower lash line. And with my finger, I'm applying the shade Nudie to the inner corner, kind of towards the center of my eye, just to add some brightness. Also with my finger, I'm applying the shade Blow to highlight my brow bone. Now I'm applying my Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Demolition, which is a nice warm brown. For eyeliner, I'm using my Clinique Brush On Cream Liner in the shade True Black. I find that with dark makeup looks, I have to line my top lash line, otherwise it doesn't tie up the look together for some reason. It just looks like something is missing. I'm not very good at doing this with one hand, so I'm going to do this off camera and I'll be right back. So that's the eyeliner done, and ended up being a little bit thicker than I would have liked, but you know what it's like. Once you make a mistake and you try and correct it, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. But I think it looks okay. Now it's time for some mascara, and first I'm going to curl my lashes. I don't even know where this eyelash curler is from. And then I'm going to use my good old faithful Benefit They're Real mascara. And I like to kind of wiggle the wand on the roots of my lashes to give more volume. I could add some false lashes to intensify the look, but I'm not a big fan of false lashes, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm just going to clean up underneath the eyes with my MAC Prep and Prime highlighter in the shade Light Boost. I like to do this with my fingers because it's more precise and I know exactly where the product is going, and then I go over with a beauty blender just to smooth the edges. And now for some lipstick. I have two choices today. The Primark one has a little bit more of a purpley lilac undertone, and the Sleek one has more of a burgundy red kind of vampy tone. I'm going to start with the Primark one and see how it looks. And although this looks nice, I don't feel like it's autumnal enough, so I'm going to go for the Sleek one. I'm just going to dab a little bit of that Lethal eyeshadow on the center of my lips, which is the dark burgundy shade I used on my eyes, and I think it gives a nice kind of tying in with the eye and the lips and intensifies the lip color. So this is the finished autumn makeup look. It makes me feel so excited for autumn. I love all the deep burgundy and berry tones, and just, I don't know, a change from the summer makeup with all the bright and light colors. I think it's really nice. And yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you like this look and if you have any of these products. I highly recommend you try the Sleek Matte Me liquid lipstick because it sets really nicely on the lips. It feels really comfortable, and they do lots of different colors, so I'm gonna leave a link to it below in case you want to check it out. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new so you don't miss my future videos. I do videos about beauty and motherhood and just all sorts of nice things. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!